Hi, I'm Katherine.
And I'm Alex.
And today we'll be walking through the cost breakdown for our den outdoor weekender A-frame that we call the Tiny Pine. So we bought 4.5 acres of riverfront for $106,000, and we originally bought it through contract for deed before we rolled it into a construction loan to build 2 cabins on this lot. So I do want to highlight that both the septic and the well are shared with the other cabin that we did build at the same time. The septic was $13,000, and the well, we did go over budget because they had to drill more than once to find the water source. So that was just a little over $10,000, but split between 2 cabins, it ends up being closer to $5,000 for the well here. It was a little bit over as well just because we had to run the water lines farther away, so that was an additional cost too. All right, so a few costs for the outside. We started with the backfill and the foundation. So the cost of doing the slab on grade was $3,500. And then another exterior piece is the roof. We originally wanted metal roofing, but it didn't work out with our timeline of our construction plan. So we ended up doing asphalt, which was $6,000 in cost. But if we would have done the metal roof, it would have been double the price. And then the last thing that I want to highlight out here too are the windows. Windows are usually one of the most expensive things to add, but we did not want to cut short. We added windows on each side of the A-frame, front, back, side. So the total cost for that was just right around $8,000. Another exterior cost that we didn't touch on outside is the deck, along with the cement sidewalk. So that was an additional cost for us that ended up being $3,000.
For the lumber for the exterior and frame of the cabin came out to about $8,000. As you can see, the whole interior of the Tiny Pine is pine, tongue and groove. And we actually paid extra to have it whitewashed, which was a cost of $3,500.
We did do it in the last cabin for free because we did our own labor, but we decided to get it professionally done this round due to the high vaulted ceilings.
So total for the plumbing inside the Tiny Pine, it was $4,500. And then we did also splurge on our heating system, which is in-floor radiant heat with an on-demand water boiler in our utility room. Keeps the floors nice and cozy, and that was $7,500 total.
We did spray foam insulation in this cabin, and that ended up costing $5,800 total.
So we did have a $10,000 change order with our builder that included some of the customizations that we did. So that included the loft and then also the 4-foot bump out in order for us to include the utility room.
And that was out of pocket. We didn't realize that before we did our construction loan. So that's definitely something we recommend to look into before you get those plans started. So in the kitchen here too, we also have the countertops that we chose solid surface because we felt that it's the perfect medium it's very durable for a rental property, but it has a really nice aesthetic. Quartz and granite are a little more expensive, and like granite is porous, so we didn't want to have to worry about stains as much. But with the sink that we did, the 18-inch custom sink, with the install and material for the countertop, it ended up being just about $1,000. So because we went at a smaller scale for this cabin to have a little bit more counter space, the appliances costed a little bit more because they're not the typical average size that are manufactured in bulk. So for example, this oven range is a 24-inch range instead of 30-inch, so this ended up costing us $1,100, which is almost double the amount of a typical range. This fridge as well is a retro fridge, and we really liked the style and size as well for this space. And this ended up costing us $900. And then the last thing that we did splurge on for an appliance was the combo washer dryer unit. Because it is an all-in-one, it ended up costing us $1,200. For all of the furnishing to furnish for the bed, the couch, all the countertop, kitchen appliances, furniture, table, the total cost to furnish this place ended up being about $3,000.
For the electrical in the cabin, came out to about $6,000. That includes our recessed lighting. We have one pendant light, the hookup for the electric stove, and then also we made sure that we had the correct wiring to include a smart thermostat, because then we can monitor what the temperature of the cabin is from a distance. Since we are using these cabins for short-term rentals where we really encourage them to come and stay for a little longer than just a weekend and be able to work remotely, we did get Starlink Wi-Fi, which we found worked really well with our cabin on the other side of the property. So that was $400 to buy the setup, which is actually really easy to install. We did it ourselves, and then it's $110 a month.
And the reason we actually chose Starlink is because we are in a remote location, so we were right on the border of the basic options that are provided in a city limit. So it is a little more expensive for us to do Starlink out here, but we have high-speed internet, which is really huge. For anyone who finds land in a very remote location, it's a great option. So for the main living space, we chose a luxury vinyl flooring. It's waterproof and it's pet friendly and really easy to clean and maintain. So this was $279 a square foot. So for this square footage, it ended up being about $1,200 total. So for the flooring in the bathroom, I wanted a little bit of a darker contrast. So we went with a charcoal hexagon tile, just to contrast against the whitewash pine that we have in here, and then to accent the wallpaper. But the flooring ended up being, the material was not that expensive. It was about $150 since it's such a small square footage in the space. Where the cost comes in is the actual labor to put this in. So we did get it professionally installed and tiled and grouted. So with the flooring being installed in here, the luxury vinyl in the main place, as well as the 1x6 pine boards upstairs in the loft, the labor for flooring ended up being about $2,000. So for total costs, the Den Outdoor Weekender A-frame is originally 415 square feet, but because we added that addition, it ended up being 488 square feet total. So with everything, including septic, well, insulation, everything, it ended up being $135,000 to build this, which comes out to about $275 a square foot.
And if you aren't living in the same location as we are, where you need a private septic system and private well, along with the climate that we're in, which had us add the spray foam insulation inside the cabin and then also the in-floor heat, without those items, the cost actually comes back to about $80,000, and that's right at $200 per square foot.